श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ आप्यायन्तु ममाङ्गानि वाक्प्राणश्चक्षुश्रोत्रमथो बलमिन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि सर्वं ब्रह्मोपनिषदम् माहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्याम् मा ब्रह्म निराकरोत् अनिराकरणमस्त्वनिराकरणं मे अस्तु तदात्मनि निरतेय उपनिषत्सु धर्मास्ते मयि सन्तो ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Kena Upanishad, belonging to the Samaveda, is a short Upanishad of just about 35 mantras. And the first adhyaya or chapter we have completed had 9 mantras. And it is an intense chapter, and the whole chapter is about Shravanam alone. Yeah, Shravanam is over with the first chapter. And the first mantra is the opening question by a very intelligent student who inquires about the intelligent principle that governs the entire multiverse. And in response, we have the whole Guru Shishya Samvada, and the Guru answers the question of that anonymous student by saying that principle, intelligent and conscious, is the eye of the eye, ear of the ear, prana of the prana, mind of the mind, speech of the speech. So the Guru gives a rather an indirect answer. And then further says, Tadeva Brahmatvam Vidhi. And that supreme reality, the intelligent principle, know that to be you. Nedam yadidam upasate. You are not what you take yourself to be. If you have identified with the body, mind, sense complex, or if you think the supreme reality is an avatara Purusha alone, like Rama, Krishna, Devi, or even your Guru, or if it is a Jiva or a celestial in some loka, then that is not incorrect, but that is only a partial understanding of the truth. So, Brahma Tattvam is not confined to an upadhi. So, you need to gain an absolute and total understanding of that supreme reality. And so, in the first chapter, ends with those 9 mantras. No? Then we see that the second chapter begins with the Guru testing the students. The Guru wants to see whether this very subtle topic, have my students really grasped it well enough? Is there clear understanding without vagueness and error? Yeah. And so this is second chapter is about mananam. No? How much clarity is there? So the Guru says, no, yadi manyase suveda. Yeah? If you say that you have understood Brahma well, then really you have not understood, Brahma. Yeah, you only have a partial understanding. Why does the Guru say that? He says Dabrameva. Dabram is Daharam. same, two words mean the same, which mean alpam. You have only little or partial understanding of the supreme reality. Why does the Guru say that? Because that Brahma Tattvam, cannot be conceptualized. It is not an object which can be understood, as a worldly object. So then the Guru says that you have not understood Brahma in totality. So then we have the second mantra of the second chapter, and there we find that one intelligent, confident student gets up and says, says what? That I don't say that I have understood Brahma Tattvam well. Naham manye suveda iti. Nona vedeti vedacha. Yeah? That is, I don't say I know Brahma well. What does the student mean by that? The student says that Brahma or the supreme reality is not an object which is conditioned in time and space, like a pot, like a flower, which we can know, which we can know by the nama, by the rupa, by the sambandha, kriya, jati, guna. So many properties can define an object, but not so Brahma. So by that one sentence, Naham Manye Suveda, student is conveying that Brahma cannot be known as an object. I do not say that. Yeah, it is not a prameya vastu, which can be gained by a concept in the mind or which can be perceived by the pancha pramanas. In fact, it's not available for any of the five pramanas. But then the student continues, Nona Veda, Nona Veda, na Veda cha. So neither do I not know Brahma. Yeah. So what does the student say? Brahma Tattvam is always known. Yeah. It is never unknown. It is always known because it is oneself. It is a Nitya Aparoksha Anubhava. Yeah. Nitya Aparoksha Anubhava means one cannot know it as an object like a pot, etc. But it is always present and known as the awareness, as the Chit Swarupaha. The Chit is the knowing faculty. That which is Yatsvapta Jagara Sushuptima Vaiti Nityam Tat Brahma Nishkalamaham Naja Bhuta Sangaha. The first verse of Pratasmaranam ends in that. That is the Avasthatraya Saksha. I am that witnessing presence or the Sakshi which is ever awake, which never goes to sleep and much less dreams. So the student is conveying that he has understood. He is not this, this limited body, mind, sense entity, but he is much more than that. That is the Avasthatraya Sakshi. Then that was the second mantra. And then the student also says that whoever amongst us, that is in this class, whoever else has also understood Brahma in this way. Yeah. Anaham manye suveda nona vedeti vedacha. That is, I know Brahma as myself, as a Sakshi, and I do not know Brahma as an object conditioned in time and space. Whoever claims, to say this has also understood Brahma, is also a Brahma-vid. So that was the second mantra. Then the third mantra is, the Upanishad itself clarifies the same thing, and says, for those, who don't know, they know, and those who know it just as an object, they have only a partial understanding of Brahma. That is, Brahma, we do understand that there are manifestations of Brahma, Gomata is there, all our gods, goddesses, they are all Saguna versions of Brahma. But that is only a partial understanding. So Upanishad wants to elevate us to the highest lofty heights of Nirguna Parabrahma. That is the goal of every Upanishad. So that is where we stopped. Yeah, that is how the Guru guides the student's mind And we see that by the grace of the Guru Parampara, the Guru has indeed communicated very well this extremely subtle topic, and the students have also understood it because they have Samskrita well prepared minds. Yeah. So it is well established up to this point that the Swarupa of oneself is Brahma. You know, that famous question which Ramana Maharishi often asked, who am I? So if you ask the question, who am I? You know, the worldly responses will be, I am so and so, I am a senior citizen, I am a female, I am of this height and weight, I am a doctor, engineering. But in the context of Vedanta, says that you are that. So who am I? The answer is the questioner himself. Yeah, the Swarupa, the true nature of the one who questions, that is the answer. Tat Brahma Aham Asmi. So whether one accepts this or not, whether one likes it or not, yeah, whether one knows it or not, that is well established that one's true nature is that Brahma Tat. Okay. Now, so now the question may arise that, okay, Brahma Tattvam is indeed, as a student and the Guru say, is always known. It was there, is there, will be there. It is the Adhara, Adhishtana of this Jagat. And the Jnanis know it, and the unwise are yet to know it. Yeah. But how to know it? That is the question which is answered in this next mantra, number 4 of the second Adhyaya. Now, the second Adhyaya is all about Mananam, and it is even shorter chapter. It is only 5 mantras. So, we are likely to complete the second chapter today. So, if the question is asked that, how can one experience Brahma? Yeah, how can one experience Brahma? How can one know Brahma? If it is knowable, if it is always known, how am I going to know it? Yeah. So then we see that the answer is given in this 4th mantra, which clarifies the word experience. Pujya Swamiji never liked the word experience. He would say, the whole world, people are experience hunters. So everybody wants an experience. They want to experience Brahman in a cave, in a temple, in an ashram, or in deep meditation. But are we going to find Brahman there? So the idea is, what is the meaning of experience? Now look at this flower here. So here I am experiencing this flower. Yeah. Or I say I experience this pot. I experienced the depth of the ocean at the beach. I experienced a wonderful sunrise today. I experienced a wave of sadness in the mind. I experienced the pangs of hunger. In all these contexts, we use the word experience. Yeah. But what has happened here? Dvaitam has walked in. There is a Dvaita Buddhi, is it not? I am the experiencer, and the flower is the object of my experience, and there is an experience. This is called Dvaita Buddhi. Yeah? But in the context of Brahma, that is an experience in a totally different way. Yeah? So experience of Brahma cannot be like the experience of a flower, of any object in the world conditioned in time and space. Yeah? Because this experience of a flower is momentary. It is subject to arrival and departure. No? But not so Brahma. Brahma is called, experience of Brahma is Nitya Aparoksha Anubhav. That is, it is always experienced. There is no beginning of the experience of Brahma. There is no departure also. Yeah. And so, Brahman is experienced or known in a different way. How, if it is asked? It is known as am. I am. No? I am, and that state of being, that is called the Nitya Aparoksha Anubhava. And this is explained in the next famous mantra, number 4. So let us go to that mantra. प्रतिबोधविदितं मतं प्रतिबोधविदितं मतम् अमृतत्वं हि विन्दते अमृतत्वं हि विन्दते प्रतिबोधविदितं मतम् अमृतत्वं हि विन्दते आत्मना विन्दते वीर्यम् आत्मना विन्दते वीर्यम् विद्यया विन्दते मृतम् विद्यया विन्दते मृतम् प्रतिबोधविदितं मतम् अमृतत्वं हि विन्दते आत्मना विन्दते वीर्यम् विद्यया विन्दते मृतम्. This mantra says Pratibodha Viditam Matam, first quarter, the most important quarter. Amritatvam hi vindate. Atmana vindate viryam. Vidyaya vindate amritam. Yeah. So notice the repetitions here. Vindate, vindate, vindate. 3 times vindate. And that is our verb. Yeah, vindate comes from the dhatu vind. Vind means to find, to gain, or to search even. Yeah, vindate. Then amritam. Amritam and amritatvam are similar in meaning. Amritatvam is the ness or the tattvam of amritam. Amritasya bhavaha iti amritatvam. Okay. Now, here, what does the Upanishad say? Pratibodha viditam matam. So, in answer to the question, how are we to know Brahma? So, Upanishad says, Brahma is pratibodha viditam matam. It is indeed known in every cognition. It is known in each and every experience in the world. Yeah. And amritatam hi vindate. And because of that understanding, one would gain or attain amritatvam, immortality. We'll come to the detailed explanation. Atmana vindate viryam. So here viryam is samadhyam, capacity to know. So to capacity to gain knowledge is gained by atmana. Here atmana is a prepared Samskrita manas. In the Gita, we had a similar shloka. Uddharet atmana atmanam natmanam na avasadayet. Lift the mind by the mind. Somewhat similar here. Atmana vindate viryam. One gains this knowledge or the capacity to know, the samadhyam, by a life of yoga. Atmana. Then vidyaya, and by this knowledge, what will happen? The phalam is given here. Amritam vindate. One gains amritam. No? This amritam, is very well known in our Purana, Puranic stories as a divine elixir, which all the gods and the asuras want to drink and become immortal. But of course, in the context of Vedanta, it means na mritam. Amritam or amritatvam refers to deathlessness or timelessness. That is, one would gain the status of something that is not subject to time and vikaras, not subject to janma and maran. Now, let us look at the first quarter. Yeah? Pratibodha viditam matam. In that, pratibodha viditam is a beautiful compound. Compound is a samasa. Now, in a samasa, many ideas would be compressed into one word. No? There is brevity there. So, prati. Now, what does prati mean? Like we say, prati dinam, prati kshanam, pratyekam. Prati means each and every. Each and every time, every day. So, that is the meaning prati bodha. Now, bodha is knowledge, of course, but here we will say bodha is a cognition. Yeah? Now, cognition is a beautiful word. Like we have flower cognition, then we have pot cognition, yeah. Then we have pen cognition, then emotion cognition, then happiness cognition, yeah. Then back pain cognition, yeah. So many perceptions are there which are happening so rapidly in the mind. Yeah. So cognitions are nama rupas which are which are happening in the mind. Yeah, in the mind. So Vedanta says that how do I know that there is a flower? So this external flower corresponds to a flower vritti in the mind. And that vritti jnanam, that wave or the thought corresponding to the flower in my mind is a cognition, and that is a bodha. So there is a person bodha, flower bodha, pen cognition. Now, I'm having the cognition of the Zoom windows in front of me. So all these cognitions are happening where? In the mind. But Vedanta says that in that antakarana mind, that mind, behind every cognition, there is the light of consciousness. Yeah? So the mind, which is subtle matter, is lit up by Chaitanyam, pure consciousness. And that is how we can cognize objects in the mind. So what is the variable here? The variable here is Nama Rupa. Pot, flower, pen, person, emotion, a memory. All these happen in the mind. They're all coming and going. They're all idam vrittis. Yeah. But what is the common factor? Common factor in all of these is that Chaitanya. Yeah. Is that light which illumines the mind in order to enable all the cognitions. So pratibodha viditam matam. So the Upanishad is saying here that Brahma Tattvam is that which is indeed known in every cognition. That is, every time I have an experience of an object, then right then and there, Brahma Tattvam is present. Because without the blessing aspect of Brahma, we cannot cognize anything in the world. Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha, Gamanam, walking, handling things, speaking. Like right now, I'm experiencing all of you, your faces in the Zoom windows, because of the Brahma Tattva, which is lighting up the mind and the sense organs to be able to speak. Then you are all listening and taking notes and understanding also by the same Tattvam, which is lighting up all your minds. Yeah. So the uncommon variable factor is the Namarupas. Namarupas come and go. They switch, they change. But what is the common basis, Adhara, Adhisthana? That is the awareness. Yeah. That is the Sakshi. Now, does this happen only in the waking world, Jagrat Avastha? No. It is the Avastha Traya Sakshi. Now, in the dream, what happens? The dream, the mind is very much active. Yeah, the mind projects a dream world, and then I have dream cognitions, dream experiences. I am a dreamer, there are dream objects, there are dream experiences. So, it is the same Sakshi which lights up the projected dream even. Just as the Sakshi is lighting up the mind in the waking state. Yeah. Then what happens in deep sleep? The mind is not there. Is there any cognition in deep sleep? No. Yeah. If there is no mind, then how can the mind perceive anything? There will be no Nama Rupa, no cognitions in the deep sleep. But is Sakshi there? Answer is yes. So what is the Sakshi perceiving then in deep sleep? Absence of cognitions. Absence of Nama Rupa. Yeah. So that is why it is said it is Avasthatraya Sakshi. So, just like when we go out on a windy day, we don't see the wind, but I see the leaves rustling. The branches are swinging. Then what do I infer? There is wind. Right now, we are all sitting in closed rooms, I think, in our rooms. So I can infer that there is space. Then in the waters that are moving, ripples, through the ripples, I know that there is clear water also available. Hmm? So, Pratibodha Viditam Matam is saying that when that Brahma is understood as the invariable constant in the changing Namarupas, and that is how we know Brahma, that is how we experience Brahma in all the cognitions. That is Matam. Yeah. So the wise, what they will do in case of Namarupas, okay, Namarupas is on the surface, but beyond this Namarupa, there is a Sat. And beyond the Jiva Namarupa, there is a Chit also in addition. Yeah. So Sat and Chit are ever shining, ever present as awareness, and which lights up the Upadhis. And through the Upadhis, we are gaining knowledge of the countless Namarupas in this world, external world. So now the Guru is implying that this understanding of oneself as the timeless, deathless, invariable avasthatraya sakshi, if we have understood that, that is the total understanding. Nedam yadidam upasate, not what the mind conceptualizes, and that Brahma Tattvam will never come in front of us as an object, yeah, and it is present in all the states, and it is that which lights up all the Namarupas. Okay? So that is the first quarter. Pratibodha Viditam Matam. So Brahma is Matam or known when indeed it is known through every cognition. So now this is clear that, Brahma Tattvam, knowledge of Brahma or moksha or enlightenment is not an event. So it's not an event means it is not a situation. It is not available in this ashram or that cave or in a deep meditation. It is to be understood as the Drik Swarupa, yeah, as oneself in all the three states. I'm enjoying Deepavali with my family time. Brahma is there. I'm dreaming. Brahma Tattvam is there, lighting up. I'm in the waking state, doing my roles, role playing. Brahma Tattvam is there. So that invariable factor is what is mentioned here, which is always known. Always known means it is always present. I may not know it consciously, yeah, but the jnanis always know it as the self-evident, self-luminous avasthatraya sakshi, satyam brahma. And satyam, is that which is never subject to negation. Yeah, that which cannot be negated, which was never born, and hence it will never die. It never arrived, nor can it depart. So for this, of course, it is obvious that a very sukshma, subtle, steady, purified mind is needed to recognize and to discover this deathless aspect, timeless aspect in oneself and in everyone else. Yeah. So Shankaracharya says beautifully that this moksha or this amritatvam, what is it really? Swatmani avasthanam. Swatmani avasthana means abidance in one's own atma, self-abidance, and that is only through knowledge. So self-knowledge or self-abidance is moksha, swatmani avasthanam, and that is the amritatvam. Now let us look at the second quarter. Amritatvam hi vindate. He. And when one has understood this, that for the experience of Brahma, it is always experienced in every experience, then that will give one the Amritatvam. Yeah? Amritatvam hi vindate. One gains Amritatvam. So, Amritatvam means to know oneself as free from the Shad Vikaras, yeah, free from the changes. See, right now, our understanding is, I am 60 years old, I am a senior citizen, I am tall, short, wealthy, unhappy, hungry, thirsty, because we are identified with the upadhis. But once you understand that Behind all the cognitions, there is the one changeless, invariable, common factor, that Tattvam, then that nature is Amritattvam. Yeah, that is, I am the content of the Upadhi and the content and truth and essence of every experience. I need not go, to have an extra mystical experience of Brahman. Yeah. So right now, the very fact that I'm able to talk is by the grace of Brahma Tattvam. And the very fact that everybody, all of us are listening and understanding through our minds is because of the blessing grace of that Brahma Tattva. And that Brahma Tattvam is not available to for perception by the eyes nor for the mind. Because the mind and senses are borrowing the light from the Atma Chaitanya. Okay, so then you see that this Amritattvam, Amritattvam is one discovers that one was never born as that Brahma Tattvam and will never have death. Yeah, that is the true meaning of Amritattvam, free from the notion that I am aging and I will die one day, I was born one day, all these notions are, because of the identification with the upadhi. So moksha is all about what? Recognizing that higher nature which is timeless and formless and deathless also. Yeah. Then let us come to the third quarter. Atmana vindate viryam. So here viryam is valor, of course, but here we will translate it as samarthyam, the capacity to know. And Atmana is in Tritiya, by the Atma. Yeah, but Atma does not do anything. Atma is Akarta, Bhokta, Atma. So here we will take the meaning as, as the mind. Atma meaning will be the mind. So by a prepared Samskrita mind alone, what one would gain? Vindate viryam, the capacity to know. And this is all about sadhana chatushtayam. Yeah. So moksha prapti is self-knowledge. Okay. But how does one gain the self-knowledge? It happens only in the mind. Yeah. By the prepared mind. Samskrita manasa eva mokshaha labhyate. So here it is implying that may one prepare the mind by a proper prayatna, by proper effort, may one have a prayerful life, intelligent life, and perform the nitya naimittika karmas, do what is to be done prayerfully as an offering to Ishvara. And so the whole life, may one adjust all the priorities, role playing, family life, celebrating festivals, all of them. Why are we doing that? To gain a prepared Samskrita manas in order for this knowledge of Brahma to take place. So that is what a mumukshu would do. Live a life of yajna, dhanam, tapas, perform the nitya naimittika karmas, and gain the chitta shuddhi through karma yoga, through upasanas if necessary, meditations, and gain the viryam, samarthyam, the chitta shuddhi. So that is the meaning of atmana vindate viryam. And the self-knowledge, even though it is a praptasya praptihi, it is already accomplished for all of us. But we are not aware of it. Yeah. So the knowledge has to take place in the mind. And it cannot just take place for every mind. It can only take place in a mind that is prepared, which is steady and pure. So Atmana Vindate Viryam is the third quarter. The last one is Vidyaya Vindate Amritam. So that Amritam or Moksha Prapti, how is it gained? Is it gained by chanting mantras? Is it gained by endless hours of seva that I put in? Or by prayer and pujas and yajnas and dhanam? If I do all of these are good. They're all recommended by the karma kanda of the Vedas. But they can only guide, purify, steady the mind in order for the knowledge to happen. And that is why Vidyaya Amritam Vindate. What kind of Vidya? Pratibodha Viditam Matam. Come back to the first quarter. That is, knowing that in every experience, the Atma Tattvam is the knower, Atma Tattvam is the known, and Atma Tattvam is the knowing. That is the Chit and the Sat. So, Pratibodha Viditam Matam is, that is the Vidya, the knowledge, which is Advaita Jnanam. So, in the experience of a worldly object, we just saw that there is a Dvaitam. I, the knower of the flower, am distinct from the flower. I'm not the flower, and the flower is not me. But the Advaita Jnanam Pratibodha Viditam Matam says that the flower is Brahman, I, the knower of the flower, is Brahman, and the knowing process is also Brahman. And we can connect it to the Shloka 24 of chapter 4 Gita, Brahmarpanam Brahmahavihi Brahmagnam Brahmanaptam, which you all know very well. So this Amritatvam, the immortality, is not in some loka. It is not after death. It is not an event in which is going to happen. That is why this mantra is so important and removes all the confusions. Amritatvam is the discovery of oneself as Atma, as the Sakshi, as Nitya Aparoksha Anubhava, as awareness. And I am already that. I just have to do what? Clear away the doubts and the erroneous perceptions and erroneous understanding, and claim and know myself as Aham Aham. Yeah. So that is the Amritatvam, is to be understood as freedom from all the changes and notions which are centered on the lower I. Yeah, lower I, and to understand that I am free from Nama Rupa, and I am free from the Shadvikaras. I am free from Janma and Marana and Kshuddha and Vipasa. There is no hunger, thirst, birth, death, changes for me. And if you remember Ramana Maharishi's story, at the end, and when he was suffering, not he, but the body was suffering from cancer. Then Ramana Maharishi said, I'm not going anywhere. I'm right here. I was here, I am here, I will continue to be here. So the Dhira Purushas are able to see that imperishable Tattvam in the perishable finite bodies. And that discovery, that understanding is explained here in this important mantra, number 4, as Amritatvam. Yeah? Very, very important mantra. We will chant it one more time. Pratibodha Viditam Matam Amritatvam hi vindate Atmana vindati vidyam Vidyaya vindate mritam. So, now let us go to the last mantra of this short chapter 2, and that is number 5. So it is clear that one has to clearly discover, recognize that I am already free. A great poet, maybe Voltaire, French poet, has said, we are all born free, but everyone is in chains. Yeah. So bondage. So the bondage, Upanishad says, is a notion. Yeah. That I am aging. What is going to happen to me? I'm anxious. I'm sad today. I was happy yesterday. So these notions are all centered on the Upadhi. Yeah. But one is already free. Yeah. As Nitya Triptatma. And that is the point that the Upanishad repeatedly drive home for us. And let us see the mantra number 5, in which, the Upanishad is going to explain that If one is to gain this knowledge, Brahma Vidya, then the gain is infinite. And if one does not gain the knowledge, then the loss is Mahati Vinashtiki, infinite loss. So there is a kind of a warning here by the Upanishad. Let us chant it first. Iha chedaved, iha chedavedi atha, iha chedavedi atha, satyamasti, na ched iha vedit mahati vinashtihi, na ched iha vedit mahati vinashtihi, bhuteshu bhuteshu vichitya dhiraha, भूतेषु भूतेषु विचित्य धीराः प्रेत्यास्मान् लोकादमृता भवन्ति प्रेत्यास्मान् लोकादमृता भवन्ति इह चेदवेदि तथा सत्यमस्ति न चेदिहावेदि महति विनष्टिः भूतेषु भूतेषु विचित्य धीराः प्रेत्यास्मान् लोकादमृता bhavanti. So have you noticed how Upanishads repeatedly are using words like dhiraha, vindate, amritam, very important words, by which the clarity is brought up. Now let us break the sandhis. Iha, here, chet, if, avedit, atha satyam asti. Avedit is lung, no? If one were to know here, iha chet avedit atha, then satyam asti. Then there is a meaning and purpose and fulfillment in life. Satyam asti. Then the second quarter, if not, otherwise, na chet iha, if one were not to gain this knowledge, then na avedit, what is the loss? Mahati vinashtiki. Not an ordinary loss. Mighty, infinite loss will be there. Second line. Bhuteshu bhuteshu vichitya dhiraha. Again the dhiraha are the vivekis. Vivekis are those who are very discerning. Discerning means who are perceiving the world with a jnana chakshu. So the vivekis, what do they discriminate? Vichitya. They see that bhuteshu bhuteshu, in every bhuta, bhuta means the pancha bhautikam shariras. In the pancha bhautikam world, they don't see just the nama rupas, because pretya asmat lokat. Now, the literal translation will be departing from this world. But that is not the meaning here. The meaning here is they have turned away from the worldly pursuits, pretya asmat loka, from the surface appearances of nama rupas, and they have discovered the adhara adhishtana, the essence of the jagat, as the Brahma Tattvam. So what happens to them? Amritaha bhavanti. They become immortal. That is, they become wise. They become wise. Immortality means what? Self-knowledge. Yeah, the knowledge of the changeless, deathless, timeless Tattva. That is who I really am. So that is to be claimed, say the Upanishads, and owned up here, iha. Now, let us look at the meaning of the short word iha. Iha is a short word, means here, literally. But here means what? So, here means asmin sharire and asmin loke. Yeah. Now, we all know that the human birth, how precious it is. Isn't it? Manushyatvam. It is not to be taken for granted. Shastras describe the human birth, Manushyatvam, as a mokshadwaram, dharmakshetram, punya bhumi, karma bhumi, adhikari shariram, all this. And moreover, the humans are found only in Prithvi Loka. So, iha is referring to this Prithvi Loka or Bhuloka, which is also called Martya Loka. Yeah. But in this Martya Loka, when one is born as a human jiva, then that upadhi is the gateway for moksha. Why? We have seen this many times before. Because only in the human mind is there the faculty of choice. Yeah. That is, I can deliberately choose between chasing worldly pursuits, artha kama, all the time, or do I want to switch at some point to dharma and moksha? I have to deliberately choose. Do I want prayas or shreyas? And this choice can happen only in the human shariram. You know. So, Puja Swamiji would say one has to grab this opportunity. You know, the opportunity that is given to us already. We are already born as humans in the Madhya Loka. If we do not grab, then Swamiji said we'll be born as crabs in the next janma. That's just a joke. It is said that after a human birth, then the next birth is not likely to fall to some, to such a low status as a crab. Yeah? Unless one has committed a lot of papa in this janma. So we all know already that this human birth has been granted to us by a lot of punyam. Yeah? And then we are born in Bharata Desha, which I say is more punyam. Yeah? And there are people like Vani Devi, who have the punyam to pursue this knowledge in a foreign country also. So really it is the human, plane of action that is meant here. Yeah. So that is the greatness of this word iha. Yeah. And this iha asmin sharire, in a live human body alone, is it possible to pursue Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasnam and get the moksha prapti. Yeah. And it is earned. In fact, people say the human body is hardwired for moksha. And another Upanishad, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad says, Yaha asmat lokat praiti atmanam aviditva saha kripanaha. The meaning there given is the one who departs from this world or who does not deliberately choose the Shreyo Margaha or the pursuit of moksha is a kripanaha, is a miser, because one has been gifted with the great treasure of the buddhi and yet one has not made this choice, this deliberate choice. Yeah. So that is the message here, that this opportunity knocks but once, as it's said in English. And if one does not strive for moksha, then what is the loss here? Mahati vinashtihi, second quarter. So let's look at the mantra again. Iha, having gained the precious adhikari shariram, which is a moksha dwaram, iha chet avedit. If one were to know, one were to gain this knowledge. What knowledge? Pratibodha vidita matam. The knowledge of Brahma Tattvam, the invariable presence in every cognition. If one were to gain that atha, then there is satyam. There is satya means there is the fulfillment, there is the grand finale, asti. Nachet iha avedit, na avedit. If one were not to gain this knowledge or pursue this Brahma Vidya, then what? Mahati vinashtihi. That is, the loss is great, mighty, infinite loss. No? So, you see, through the Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasnam, we are only gaining what is already there, already accomplished, siddha vishyaha. That is, we are only discovering. Yeah, discovering and regaining knowledge. Yeah, so the gain here of Brahma Vidya is in terms of loss, a good loss, avidya nivritti. When one sheds the ignorance, the ignorance of my true nature, then it shines forth, and that is the moksha prapti. So Atma does not expand into something bigger by my study of this Upanishads. Yeah, rather I'm peeling away the layers of ignorance and gaining the understanding of that which is always there. In the language of Atma Bodha, if you remember, the pursuit of knowledge is only removing the clouds to reveal the Atma sun, which is ever shining. Yeah? Now, if it is asked, okay, the loss is mighty, then what is the gain? What kind of gain is it? Then the answer is, let us look at the gains in our life. In all these 40, 50, 60, 70, or even 80 years in the past decades, what all have we gained? A lot. We have gained property, family, relationships, friends, qualifications, bank balance, pets, animals, so many things we have gained. Yeah. Now, what is happening to all those gains, these worldly gains? They're changing, are they not? They're subject to inflation, subject to decline, and even loss. Then finally, when the Antakala comes, what happens to all these gains? We know every day we are faced with this fact. People depart, earlier than us, and some are departing later. And all these gains, worldly gains, are going to be left behind. Debit cards, credit cards, cars, possessions, everything. But this gain, Upanishad says, the Brahma Vidya, the Moksha Prapti, self-knowledge, is always there. It is never lost. That is the status that Upanishad gives to the Brahma Tattvam. Okay? So, as the Shastra says, that one can make the life or mar the life. Yeah. So the choice is in our hands, and that is the free will. The free will which is unique to this human mind. So if one does not choose, deliberately choose, then choose means moksha prapti, understanding that to be the goal. Then, as Puja Swamiji beautifully says, everything else has to become a yoga. Marriage is yoga, parenting is yoga, professional life is yoga, hobbies are yoga, and travel is yoga. All the priorities can all be arranged in a conducive way in order that I reach that moksha prapti. That is called being clear about the purusharthas. Purushartha nishchaya is very clear. Then I am on the route, the Shriyo Marga, towards moksha. And then, of course, as it is often said, for a sincere mumukshu, the entire universe collaborates, comes to help that mumukshu gain that knowledge, because the striving is there, the conscious effort, prayatnam being there, all the obstacles also will be cleared. The devatas bless, it seems, and to see the mumukshu wanting that highest gain or the goal of moksha prapti. Yeah. So here, the Upanishad is giving the mild warning that if one does not gain this knowledge, then what is likely to happen? Mahati vinashti. What is the loss here talked about? One remains in the samsara chakra. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam. Janma, mrityu, jara, vyadhi, dukkha, doshas will continue. There will be janma, and janma means maranam, and in between, vyadhi, disease, aging, decline of faculties, and all these issues will continue. And henceforth, look at the second line, bhuteshu bhuteshu vichitya dhiraha. So the vivekis, the dhiras, are the wise, discriminating people. They will discriminate between what? Nitya vastu, that which is permanent, and anitya vastu, that which is subject to time and hence decline and decay. And they will not chase, those pursuits which no doubt give some gain, but which is lost in time. So, bhuteshu bhuteshu vijitya dhiraha. Bhuta here means the pancha bhautika bodies, the bodies which are made of the 5 elements and the elementals, and that when extended, the whole world is nothing but a pancha bhautikam jagat. And pancha bhautikam jagat is what? Just matter. Yeah, gross and subtle matter. So in all the lokas, Yeah, and in all the bhutas, the dhiras strive to see the imperishable Atma Tattvam in the as the core essence. Samam sarveshu bhuteshu tishtantam parameshwaram. Gita also has talked in the 13th chapter. The one who sees the same constant, invariable, imperishable Tattvam, Parameshwaram in all the perishable upadhis is the Dhira Purusha. Yeah? And then the Dhiras, what have they done? Asmat Lokat Pretya. Yeah, Asmat Lokat Pretya means they do not go after the changing Nama Rupa Kriyatmakam Jagat. Yeah, the lokas are also conditioned in time, even Brahma Loka. If we go to any Swarga Lokas, Shine Punye Punarapi Madhya Loka Mishanti, one has to return. But the Brahma Prapti is that goal, Yat Katva Na Nivartanti Bhuyaha, Gita says. But the goal of Brahma Tattvam, having gained that, one does not return. Means one does not return to ignorance and samsara and punarjanma. And also, we see that already we have the blessings of a human birth. We have blessings of a family, a conducive environment to pursue Shravana, Mananam, Nididhyasana. And we, have a Guru also, Guru Parampara to guide us. So if we miss the chance now, then it's a gamble. Next birth, where is it going to be? If it is in Dubai or in materialistic societies like America, that's why I say to be born as a Bharatiya is a great punyam, because here, Hindus, there are Hindus abroad also, like Vani Devi. They have a value for renunciation. They have a value for this culture, for the festivals, and for yajna, danam, tapas, all of which are preparing the mind for the grand finale and the goal of moksha. Yeah? We have a value for Guru and our traditions, the Parayanam, everything. So that is the meaning here, that such Dhira Purushas, they make the most of the opportunities that is already there. And do not postpone the moksha to a future birth, because who knows, the next family, will it support my, mokshatvam? Yeah. And what will be the condition there? Or will I get lost in some materialistic pursuit, after gold and power? So we never know. And that is the little, caution that Upanishad gives here, that may one choose wisely the options. So prayerful living is intelligent living. And when we, live a Vaidika Dharma, then we will always be guided from within. Yeah? Within we will know what is the next thing to do, and life will open up, all the steps, the episodes, the chapters of the Jiva Yatra will open up, and we will, travel the Jiva Yatra in a proper way to that moksha destination. Yeah? So let us chant this mantra again one more time. Iha ched avedit atha, iha ched avedit atha satyamasti, na ched iha avedit mahati vinashtihi, bhuteshu bhuteshu vichitya dhiraha, pretyasma lokat amrita bhavanti. So these are the two profound, mantras, and with which even the second chapter is concluded today. And the earlier mantra, number 4, is the most important mantra, which talked about how Brahma Tattvam is not an object of any experience. Rather, it is the support and the adhara for every experience. Yeah. So we do not need a mystical experience or some time, place, event, ashram, cave, to know or experience Brahma. It is to be understood as the one that is Amritam, free from Vikara, Shat Vikaras, free from Janma and Mrityu. Hmm? So, moksha is not an event in time and place. It is a discovery. Pratibodha viditam. It is that Satyam Brahma Aham. Ramana calls it Aham Aham. Yeah. So, um, this is why Krishna says in the Gita also, Antakali tumameva smaran mukva kalevaram. Think of me, Arjuna, because at Antakala, you will attain that which is strongly desired and pursued in the whole of life. Yeah. So, this is the idea here, that how to make the best possible use of this opportunity. And Shankaracharya has said it beautifully in the Viveka Chudamani also. No? That is, there are the threefold blessings. Trayameva Daivanugraha Hetukam. Manushyatvam, Mumukshutvam, Mahapurusha Samshaya. We already have a human body, and the desire for moksha is also there, and the Guru Parampara to guide. Then definitely moksha prapti is guaranteed. Okay, I'll stop here now. Om Asato Ma Satgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritangamaya. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.